Hey, welcome to this Halloween edition of the CBG show. We don't have anything particularly spooky for you guys today, but it is Halloween, so why leave it out?
I'm Chris Brentlinger Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan.
You'll be with us for the next 8 minutes or so. This is your weekly update concerning the topic of sports. Wednesday, 2 days ago, the San Francisco Giants wrapped up their third World Series title in 5 years. I'm hesitant to call what they've done a dynasty, because the only other 2 years they missed the playoffs entirely. But that's beside the point. If you decide to try and create a Mount Rushmore for the best playoff and World Series pitchers of all time, like I do, but I do normal things also, I feel you have to put Madison Bumgarner up there with the all-time greats. Mariano Rivera, Sandy Koufax, anybody.
The guy they call Mad Bum had 3 appearances in this World Series, registering 2 wins, 27 strikeouts, and one of the greatest extended saves you'll ever see in Game 7. Bumgarner was named the MVP for the World Series. He has a career ERA of 0.25 all-time in the Fall Classic. That's my dude.
Football action. The New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers 28-10 on Thursday Night Football. Both teams got off to extremely slow starts offensively. Jimmy Graham finally got back on the scoreboard after he'd been struggling recently with injuries. He had 7 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. Many people had the NFC South marked as the best division in football before the season began, but so far we've seen quite the opposite.
The Panthers broke out last season, but with the loss, they now sit at a disappointing 3-5-1. With the win, the Saints snapped their 1-8 stretch on the road dating back to last season. The record is now a semi-respectable 4-4, and believe it or not, they now sit in first place in the division. Now, some games to look forward to this weekend. Could this be a Super Bowl preview? As the Arizona Cardinals travel to the place that we so often refer to as Big D this weekend to take on DeMarco Murray and the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams have really exceeded expectations so far this year. They both have 6 wins and lead their respective divisions.
Dallas is looking to bounce back from that overtime loss we told you about on Monday to Colt McCoy and the lowly Redskins. This one will get underway Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Other games to watch out for are when the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots play on Sunday afternoon.
Go Broncos!
And Pittsburgh versus Baltimore in the night game.
Now some hockey for you. John Gibson proved Wednesday night why he's considered the best goalie prospect since Martin Brodeur when he shut out the Chicago Blackhawks, making 38 saves. The Blackhawks, who possess the deepest top 9 in the NHL, seem to be having some trouble lighting up the scoreboard, averaging just 2.5 goals per game. Rookie journeyman goaltender Steve Darling was unable to pull out the victory despite making 24 saves.
The Vancouver Canucks escaped in overtime against the Montreal Canadiens after blowing a 2-goal lead in the third period at home. Alex Galchenyuk and Max Pacioretty scored past Ryan Miller to tie the game up, forcing OT. When it went to overtime, it was the Stars who stepped up for Vancouver as Henrik Sedin set up brother Daniel for the winner.
Man, that first line with Radim Vrbata is just clicking.
They finally found the guy they're looking for. Yeah, I'm so happy that they're going to continue their careers with him.
Yeah, he's just so smart, and he's responsible defensively. Now, we told you to watch the Colorado Avalanche versus the New York Islanders Thursday, as it featured 2 of the youngest teams in the NHL and most explosive offenses. Well, it was a one-sided affair as the Avs won 5-0 behind a pair of Nathan MacKinnon goals. However, the best performer in the game was Avs goaltender Semyon Varlamov, who recorded a 40-save shutout. I also drafted him in the second round in my fantasy hockey pool.
But I'm in 4th place. Games to look forward to this Halloween weekend are when the Kings visit Joe Louis Arena Friday to take on the Detroit Red Wings. If history is anything to go off, this should be a goaltender's battle. Wings goalie Jimmy Howard is 6-2 in his last 8 against the Kings, with a goals against average of under 2. Then in Saturday action, Tampa hosts Washington as we get to see a matchup of 2 of the best goal scorers in the world in Steven Stamkos versus Alexander the Great 8 Ovechkin.
The NBA is back as the NBA season kicked off this Tuesday with the New Orleans Pelicans destroying the young Orlando Magic 101-84. The only major takeaway was the monster game put up by Anthony Davis, who had 26 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 blocks. Yes, 9 blocks!
We also had the defending NBA champions, the San Antonio Spurs, hosting the Dallas Mavericks. San Antonio had their championship ceremony before the game, raising their banner as the players received their rings. No rust was shown by the champs as they beat Dallas on a Tony Parker game-winning 3.
The Mavs, who battled hard throughout the game, had the ball in their hands down by 1 with 25 seconds left. New acquisition Chandler Parsons took a 3 for the win, which came up just short, handing the Spurs the victory. The key to victory for the Spurs was their mind-boggling three-point percentage, as it hit 14 of 28 attempts.
Some Canadian hoops news. The Toronto Raptors were in action Wednesday, hosting the Atlanta Hawks in their home opener. The Raps won the game 109-102, despite getting little offense from Key's Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, who struggled, hitting only 7 of their 27 shots.
However, Raps' big man and future All-Star Jonas Valanciunas came up big, leading the team in points, scoring 17 in 20 minutes of action. It amazes me, however, that JV doesn't get more playing time despite his strong play. Hopefully his minutes ramp up compared to last year. Canadian rookie phenom Andrew Wiggins got his first NBA action as a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves as they took on the Memphis Grizzlies. Wiggins registered 6 points and 2 steals in 18 minutes of work in the T-Wolves' laws. Fellow Canadian Anthony Bennett, last year's number 1 overall pick, scored 9 points and looked extremely comfortable in limited minutes. We expect both guys to contribute a lot as the season gets going.
Thursday featured everyone's most anticipated game as we had the return of the king, LeBron James, in Cleveland as the Cavaliers took on the New York Knicks. LeBron's homecoming was spoiled by the Knicks, though, who outplayed the Cavs from the start of the second quarter en route to a 95-90 victory. LBJ finished with 17 points on 5 of 15 shooting and 8 turnovers. The win was Derek Fisher's first career victory as a head coach in the NBA.
People are already starting to sell the farm on the big three there. Anyways, that does it for us here at the CBG show. I'm Amar Khan.
I'm Chris Brentlinger Grant.
Happy Halloween.
See you next time.